In this pencast, we're going to be using inequalities to solve word problems. This problem says, each week you can spend no more than 25 hours working and playing sports. You know you spend at least 10 more hours working than playing sports. Write and graph a system of inequalities to show all your options. Alright, so the first thing is that we need to write out these inequalities. So first let's define our variables. Let's say W is equal to working time and S is equal to sports time. Alright, so the first sentence says each week you could spend no more than 25 hours working and playing sports. So that means that the time you spend working and playing sports has to be less than or equal to 25. Alright, so that's our first equation. And the second one comes from the second sentence, which says, you know you spend at least 10 more hours working than playing sports. So sports plus 10 has to be less than or equal to the time you spend working. Alright, so now we need to graph these equations. To do that, the first thing we need to do is label our axes. So let's label our x-axis sports time, and that's going to be in hours. And our y-axis, let's label that working time, and let's put that in hours as well. Alright, so then let's label these tick marks 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25 on both sides. Alright, so first let's graph work is greater than or equal to sports plus 10. So S and W. Alright, so if you spent 0 hours playing sports, that means you'd have to spend at least 10 hours working, because you have to spend 10 more hours working than playing sports. So our first point would be at 0, 10. So let's go by 5, since that's the way we have our axes labeled. So if you spent 5 hours playing sports, that means if you had to spend 10 more hours working, you'd have to spend at least 15 hours working. And likewise, if you spent 10 hours playing sports, you'd have to spend 20 hours working. Alright, so let's put those points on our graph. So 0, 10, 5, 15, and 10, 20. Alright, and let's connect those to make a line. Okay, so now we need to do our shading. So the way I like to do shading is just to pick a point and see if it makes the equation true or false. So we're going to pick a point above the line. So let's pick 20, or let's pick 5, 20, okay? Which is above the line. So that's this point right here. So 20 is greater than or equal to 5 plus 10. Is that true? Yes. That's true. So that means that we're going to shade this one above the line, like this. Alright, so now let's graph the second one, which is going to be 25 is greater than or equal to sports plus work. Sorry, I flipped those around. Sports work. Alright, so if we spent 0 hours playing sports, that means that we could spend 25 hours, up to 25 hours working. Likewise, if we spent 5 hours playing sports, we would only have 20 hours for working. So 10, if we spent 10 hours playing sports, we'd have 15 hours for working. So let's graph those points. So 0, 25 is right here. 5, 20 is right here. And 10, 15 is going to be right here. Alright, so now we want to connect those dots to make a line. Alright, there we go. So now we need to do the shading on this one. So let's pick a point, and let's pick 520 again. So wait, that's on the line. We can't pick that. We can't pick a point on the line. So we have to pick a point that's either above or below the line. So let's pick the point 515 instead. Okay? So 25 is greater than or equal to 5 plus 15. Is that true? Yes. So that means we're going to shade where that point is, which is below the line. So we're going to shade below this line. Alright, so our answer is the region where we shaded both of the lines. So where both of the inequalities are true. And that's going to be this triangular region, close to the y-axis. So that is how we write and graph systems of equalities to show all the options for how we could spend our time.